What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Revival. My name is JJ, and it's that time again. These are the 20 games I plan to beat in 2022. Okay, so I have to kind of pace myself on on talking because sometimes when I make these videos I get a little overly excited, and right now with the way that I've been feeling, that'll just end up in a coughing fit. I've got a cough drop in my mouth, so hopefully that won't affect it. But as some of you that follow me on Twitter might know, first of all, I apologize for not having videos up for the past couple of weeks. I have been battling COVID. It wasn't like serious or anything like that, thankfully. I'm vaccinated, so it didn't like land me in the hospital or anything like that. But it did put me out of commission for a few days, and I just the smallest things would just make me so tired and exhausted, and I kind of just had to rest a lot. I'm still not 100%, but I am certainly way better than I was. So thankfully Locke has been here, and he's been keeping me company. And taking good care of me. So, but I should be back up again pretty soon, and to where I was before, and at least back to making videos now, obviously. So, why don't we get right into it? These are the games that I plan on finishing next year. I'm doing this a little bit earlier because there is something that the final game that I'm going to talk about. It's kind of like just a cool little idea I have, and that like I said, I mentioned in a previous video, if people want to join in on this, I think it'd be really cool. If not, I'm still going to do it either way, so it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, I've got my list. I'll have little box arts somewhere here, like I normally do, showing you what the games look like, and I mean, most of these you probably know what they are. But, so the first one that and this, in no particular order, this is literally just the 20 games. I never, put them down in the order I'm going to play, because I don't want to force myself into playing something I don't feel like playing at that moment. I like to try and mix it up a little bit, so don't take these as I'm playing this one first, this one next, this one next, this one next, and so on. These are just the games, and then I just kind of cross them off as I go throughout the year. So first on the list, I try to get a Zelda in there every year, and this one is going to be Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on the Wii. Have not finished that game. I played very, very little of it. I enjoyed what I played, but I did not beat it, so it's one that I've been wanting to go back to for a while. I figure why not? I'll put it on the list this year, so Twilight Princess get knocked out next year. Next up, Saga Frontier, another game that I have been wanting to play all the way through. So if you don't know anything about Saga Frontier, it's you have 7 characters, 8 with the remake that just came out, a remaster, because they added a new one in, but it all takes place in the same world. You can choose which character you want to play as. You recruit other characters as you go through. And the games, the stories for each character are very short. They all take place in the same world, and they take place concurrently. And then at the end, if you beat every single character's story, then you can just mess around in the game or whatever, and play as all of them in one giant party. So I have had that game since it came out originally, and I've beaten I think 3 or 4 total of the characters, always at different times, and I always end up wanting to start over again. This time I'm going to try and play through all of them, I'm going to play the remastered version, so I'm going to play the new one, Fuse. So I'm going to play through all 8 characters this time, and I'm really excited to finally knock that off the list as well. Told you, it's still here. I'm just stuck with this dry cough now, and it sucks. Another series that I try to put on there every year, Assassin's Creed. I'm going to be putting Assassin's Creed Odyssey on there. I've been working my way through the series. I am currently playing Assassin's Creed Origins, and so once that's done, then Odyssey will be the next one on the list. And after that is the Valhalla, and I'm caught up finally, because I was super late to the party in the series, but I really like them. So definitely looking forward to playing Odyssey. Next is a game that I played the first one last year, really enjoyed it, and I'm super excited to get into the second one. That's Trails in the Sky, second chapter. Unfortunately, don't have it on PSP, so I'm going to be playing it on PC, which means I can't carry over my stuff because I played it on PSP first, but it doesn't really matter. It's more about the story anyway for me, so super excited to get into that. Next, on the Xbox, I will be playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. I played the first one, I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, but recently, and I really enjoyed it. And I have actually played a little bit of this one, and I decided to stop because I wanted to go back to the first one first, but I really enjoyed it, so I'm super excited to get into this one. You know, old school BioWare, great stuff, really looking forward to it. So, KOTOR 2. Another Xbox game, Xbox 360, that's Blue Dragon, will be on there as well. I have played some of it. The art style is Akira Toriyama, and it looks very Dragon Ball Z. It's an RPG with, you know, job class system, and I remember having a good time with it. I just remember it being kind of a slog, but I always regretted not finishing it because I got really far. And so I put it on the list this year, and I'm making a point to play through and finish that game as well. So Blue Dragon, that's number 6. Number 7, more than likely this will probably be the first game that I end up playing next year. And I've been wanting to get back into it and complete it for a long time. And that's Final Fantasy Tactics Advance on Game Boy Advance. I know this is a conflicted title for some people, because it's nothing like the original FFT. But I really enjoyed it when I played it a long time ago. It's just, there's so much in the game. It's so long. There's so many missions that it's really easy to like get lost in it and then just kind of feel overwhelmed, which is what happened to me last time. Not to mention I hate the judge system in it. That's one thing I'm going to have to get over. So we'll see if there's a way to maybe manipulate that or something like that. I can look online or whatever. But if not, I mean, I played through a big chunk of it before, so I know it's doable. I just remember not liking that aspect, but I am excited to play the game in general. So, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Next up, I actually, those of you that have watched my channel for a while, you know that my friend Lamont has sent me a handful of games over the course of the time I've been doing this channel. And so I told him a few months ago, I was like, hey, I'm going to let you pick 2 games for me to play. Because anything that he's recommended to me that I have tried out, I've loved. Like, Prey is the biggest one that stands out in my head, and I did a review, you can go check it out. But man, I love that game so much, and I never would have played it had he not recommended it to me and told me about it. So, definitely looking forward to checking out Hitman Definitive Edition. That was the first one to be recommended that I play, so I'll be checking that out. I've never played a Hitman game before. I've always been curious about it, but this is the first one he picked, so gonna check it out. We'll see how it goes. The other one he chose is Wolfenstein: The New Order. I've not played any of the Wolfenstein games either, but I've heard amazing things, so I'm super excited to try that as well. So we will see how those 2 games go, and yeah, I'm super excited for it. Next up, Disgaea, Hour of Darkness. Another tactical RPG. I have not played... I've played, I think it was Disgaea 6, and I was so, like, lost as to the mechanics and what was going on, and it had, like... the way it played, it seemed like it kind of expected you to be familiar with the series already. At least that's how I took it. So I was like, I need to go back and just start at the beginning. Not because I think there's like an overall connecting story. I don't know if there is or not. But at least to kind of, like I've done with other games, where I see the growth and change in a series from the beginning. I've heard that it's extremely grindy, and it's probably going to take me a while. But I have always wanted to check it out, so I'm going to check out Disgaea, and we'll see how it goes. Another one, and I'm sure people are going to be like, oh god. Metroid on NES, the original. I'm going to try and finish Metroid. After finally playing Super Metroid and realizing what I missed out on regarding the series, I would like to go back and play the older games as well. So I'm going to try Metroid on NES. I don't know where I'm going to play it yet. I don't know if I'm playing on like my NES Classic or like I think it's on Switch as well. That's probably where I'll end up doing it. So I can do save states. But I guess I can do that on the Classic too. But still, either way, I will be playing the Metroid just because I know it's such a classic and I love. I mentioned this many times, but I love those game history games that like have had a big impact on the industry throughout history. So I'm really excited to get into that as well. Next up is a game that I wanted to put on last year's list, but I didn't. Just didn't have the room for it. But I played the first one prior, and that was Shining Force. So I'm going to be playing Shining Force 2, and I'm super excited to play it because I love the first one so much. It was right up my alley. I love the aesthetics. Again, another game I did a review on. Go check out that review on the channel. I'm super looking forward to that one because I love the hell out of the first one, so cannot wait to check it out. I tried to also be more a little heavier on the Xbox, so I have 3 games, Xbox games, because I've been trying to play more of those and get that library a little bit more under the belt. So another Xbox game that I have on here is another Xbox 360 game, and that is Halo Wars. I've been wanting to play this for a long time, and I really think it looks so cool. It's a Halo RTS, and I'm super stoked to try it out. Definitely cannot wait to check it out and see how that goes. So, yeah. Another one, Super Nintendo game, moving with the Quintet trilogy, the last game that I haven't tried yet, and that is Terenigma. I have heard nothing but just absolutely amazing praise for this game, and I didn't think I was going to like Soul Blazer as much as I did, and I freaking loved it. I thought it was fantastic. So I've heard this game is the best out of the 3, so I'm really looking forward to it. Cannot wait to try Terenigma. Another game that I think the first year that I did the list of 20, I had this game on the first one in this series on there, and that's Ark the Lad. And I have not played the second one since, and I really have been wanting to. I put it on every year since, and I always end up taking it off because something else just moves it out of the way. And I made it a point this year. I was like, no, I have to put it on there because I've been wanting to move on with that series. So Ark the Lad 2 on PS1 will be on there this year, and I can't wait to check it out because I enjoyed the original one. It was a fun little strategy game. One that many of you will probably be surprised, as big of a Final Fantasy fan as I am, to know that I have not completed and only played about 20 minutes of, and that is Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. I figured with the remake out for FF7, I should probably get a little more on the backstory of Zack. So, I am definitely looking forward to this. I've been wanting to play for years, and I just keep putting it off, and I don't know why. I can't give you a solid reason as to why. So, again, this list is to kind of keep myself in check and make it a point to not only have games to finish throughout the year, to give me kind of a list to go through, but also to narrow down my massive backlog that I have to where it's not as daunting. It's a lot easier to pick and choose from 20 games to play than it is from 300 or however many I've got in my backlog. So, but definitely looking forward to Crisis Core for sure. Next, another game that I have been wanting to play for a long time. It's the last one in the series that I haven't played other than the one on the DS. Suikoden 5, finally. I plan on doing a video in the future on the Suikoden series, more than likely once I finish this game. But this series in general is just spectacular. I highly recommend anybody that is quite frankly a Game of Thrones fan, or an RPG fan, or somebody who likes politics, or somebody who likes medieval settings. It's just so good. So I cannot wait to get into to Suikoden 5. I was told Suikoden 4 was the weakest entry in the series, and I really liked it. So I can't wait to see what this game brings to the table. I think I played Tactics last year, was the one that I played last year. So definitely stoked to play this one finally. Alright, and those of you who have also, again, been following me on Twitter, maybe I've talked to you outside of the channel and that kind of thing, know that I've been working through the Resident Evil series. I have played this past year 0, 1, and 2, all the remakes. Really enjoyed them, liked them a lot, except for Mr. X. But Resident Evil 3 will be on the list for next year, so more than likely I will play 3 and 4. But 3 definitely is on the list, and 4 will more than likely be like, when I'm done with the list later on in the year, and I can move on with it and whatnot. So really looking forward to that and getting on with the series there. Number 19 is Final Fantasy Legend 3. So I beat 1 and 2, both games that I thought were fine. They're classics, but 3 I remember being, because before I finished these games, I had tasted them, if you will. Had just played a little bit of it. And 3 I remember being the most story-focused of the 3. So I really am excited to get into this one, because the characters actually have names, and if I remember correctly, I could be wrong. I don't know, it's been years. But I remember remembering this had more of a story to it than the others did. And so I'm really excited to get into this one. And again, with the collection on the Switch that they came out with, the Final Fantasy Legend collection, I think there's no better time to try out those games. If you're curious, it's very classic old school RPG. So if that's not your thing, I don't know that these games are going to be for you, but I enjoyed the first 2. I'm sure I'll enjoy this one too, and I've been wanting to play for a long time. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. And the last game that I want to talk about, this is the big one. So I've been kind of trying to come up with a way to talk to people more than just YouTube comments and that kind of stuff. And I mean, the easiest way would just be to set up an email, and I have one. GamerRevival@gmail.com. You can always send me something there if you want to. I never really link it or anything or talk about it much, just because I don't check it very often. However, I was like, what's something that I could do that I could potentially get people involved, but if they don't want to, they don't have to, and I'm still going to do it either way. And I was like, I could play an MMO with some other people, but I know that not everybody has an ultra amazing computer, or has the right console, or whatever way to play these games. So I had to kind of consider accessibility, something I would enjoy, etc., and that kind of thing. So the game is Guild Wars 2. As you may have noticed in the video description, there is a link to a Discord. I have set up a Discord channel for Game Room Revival. I'm not taking it seriously. I'm not planning on I'm not planning on being on there 24/7. As anybody can tell you. What's up, Platinum Bro? I go on Discord every now and then, but I'm not super active on there. I've just never been a big message board guy. Main reason I did this was because what I'm going to do with Guild Wars 2 is the plan is right now, and it obviously could change because real life happens. The plan is right now, every Friday night from 7 p.m. Central till, whenever, I will be playing Guild Wars 2. As far as streaming it, I don't know about that. I'm not sure. I doubt it, to be honest, because I've streamed in the past and it just it wasn't really for me. But anybody is more than welcome to join me and play. Like I said, I have the Discord. You can hop on there. I will be in that voice chat for Guild Wars 2 during those hours, Friday nights, until I finish the single-player campaign. Well, the campaign, the story mode. The game just came out, didn't just come out, but it's coming out with its 3rd expansion soon. The base game is free, so if you want to play, you don't have to pay for anything if you don't want to. The base game comes with a really long story. It's really cool. I have played through most of it, and I enjoyed the absolute hell out of it, and I've been meaning to go back to it for years. But I have not. I just haven't, because so much other stuff has come out. So I figure this way I can set up a time to actually play through it and do my thing and whatnot. And I might hop on other than Friday nights, but as far as setting up a time for people if they want to, you can come in, even if you just want to come in and hang out. You don't have to play the game or anything like that. Come in, you can talk to me. That's where I'll be Friday nights, 7 p.m. just hanging out in there. Maybe sometimes a little earlier, maybe sometimes a little later, something like that. Like I said, real life happens, could change, but as far as right now, and I plan on starting that on the 7th of January. And I'll remind you again, I'm sure we'll do a Pixel Perspective episode before then, so I'll bring it up there too. My character is on the Fort Aspenwood server, but from what I understand, servers don't really matter. I guess it's all crossplay, so you can be anywhere on any server. So if you want to join in, you're more than welcome to. It's an older game, not like super old, but not like to where you need like a huge, super crazy powerful computer. It's been out for a while. So pretty much it's super accessible to anybody. Like I said, the base game is completely free. I did buy the expansions just because I know that I enjoyed the original game so much that I will more than likely end up wanting to play the expansions too. So I invite anybody to just come hang out. Like I said, you can play if you want. You can just come bullshit with me for a little bit if you want. I'll be there, willing to talk to anybody. Like I said, my Discord is just going to be super casual. It's not going to be like this thing that I like devote tons of time into to keeping up with and all that stuff. I'm on there. You can send me messages and stuff like that. I can't promise you that I will respond right away, just because, again, I don't check it very often. But this is going to be a solid day and time that I will be there for the time being. So, by all means, please, just don't be a dick on there. That's all I ask. That's about the only rule. So, but yeah, so anybody's welcome. Would love to play with people if possible. If not, love to talk to people. Either way, the story's so good, and I enjoy that game so much that I have no problem. Just even if nobody shows up, I'm still going to be playing it, and I'm still going to have a good time with it. So it is what it is. So, but either way, I invite anybody to come hang out, and would love to talk to you. So, yeah, that's my 20 games for 2022. I'm going to go make some more tea and definitely get that down and relax for a bit, because I can feel another coughing fit coming on. But thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. As I've said in the past, if there are any games on this list that you would like to see me review or anything like that, let me know, because that's how I did a couple of reviews last time. People picked which games that they want to hear my opinion on, and I'm more than happy to take a look and consider doing that. So by all means, let me know. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep on gaming.